Today we will talk about percent increase and decrease. We are going to try to calculate percent increase and decrease rates. In these kind of problems, it's important to find out whether or not they are asking us to increase or decrease first. So the question is, are we going to calculate increase or decrease? The second question is, what is the initial amount? And the third question is, what is the final amount? Now, the increase is going to be, since it's going up, the amount of increase is going to be the final amount minus the initial amount. Decrease, on the other hand, is going to be initial amount minus the final amount. To calculate the percent increase, you're going to take the increase that you calculated and you are going to divide it by the initial amount. And the same way for percent decrease, you're going to take the decrease amount this time and divide by the initial amount. All right, so let's go to some actual problems and see how that works out. Let's say I have a problem where it says my salary increased from $7,000 to $78,000. What is my percent change? Now, when we're talking about the initial amount, it used to be $70,000. Now it is $78,000. So remember how the increase worked out. So it's going to be 78 minus 70, which is $8,000. So the decrease is not applicable. The increase or decrease rate is going to be, remember how that worked out? It's going to be the increase amount, which is 8,000, divided by the initial amount, which is 70,000. And this time what you're going to do to get the percent, multiply by 100. When you do that, you will get about 11.4%. So you just put 11.4%. Let's do the second problem. Let's say we are asked, the average attendance at a local high school's football games went down from 3,000 to 2,500 people. What was the percent decrease in attendance? Again, we are going to write what we start with. It used to be 3,000 people, and now it's 2,500 people. So the difference is simply, let's get that. The difference is simply 1,500. And this time I'm going to put it in the decrease column. So the decrease is the decrease is 500. Now, when we are asked to calculate the decrease rate this time, we are going to have to do 500 divided by initial amount, which is 3,000, times 100 to get the percent. When you do that, you'll get about 16.7%. And now you'll put 16.7%. And this time it is talking about the decrease rate. And in the initial example, it was the increase rate. All right. Now, let's look at two more problems and kind of practice what we learned. They increased the class size from 30 to 50. What's the percent change? So it used to be 30 students and now it's 50. It went up, so it's an increase. Final minus initial, so the difference is 20. How do we calculate the percent increase rate? It's going to be the difference, which is 20, divided by the initial, which is 30, times 100. When you do that, you get about 66.7%. In this case, we are talking about the increase. All right, let's do a last example. They decreased the class size from 35 to 20. So we had 35 students, now we have 20. So it's not an increase, but it's a decrease. So the difference is 15. To calculate the amount of decrease, you go 15 divided by the original amount times 100. In this case, you'll get about 42.9%. And you have to just put down whether or not that was a decrease or increase. In this particular case, it was a decrease.